just wanted to do a quick bit on the whole scooter, I don't know, how it is riding a scooter. Yeah, they're fun. It's a lot of fun to be zipping around. It beats riding a bike. If you wanted to go somewhere and like tour an area, it's perfect. It's perfect speed. The top speed, I'll talk about top speed because these only go 20 miles an hour, and there's ones that go a lot faster than this. Personally, on these little tires, I wouldn't want to go faster than 20 miles an hour.
So if you were going to give somebody first time advice for riding one of these, what would it be? It's very sketchy. And the faster you go, the worse it is. Just tell people, keep both hands on the handlebar, no matter what. That's probably been the cause of more crashes on these than anything else.
Across the street.
Take one hand off of the handlebars, especially at speed, the front tire immediately gets a death wobble. So that's a big no-no. Don't take a hand off. There's no suspension, so there's no off-roading. These are basically just for the street. And in my opinion, if you wanted to go faster than 20 miles an hour, I think you'd be better suited to get an electric bike. A lot more stable, a lot more control, bigger tires, better brakes. Here you've only got one brake in the back. It's a disc. And it works well at 20 miles an hour. I wouldn't want to go any faster than that and have it to rely on one brake in the back. These are on air tires, and they're pretty narrow, and that makes it handle really nice. It's very nimble. I mean, you can weave and zip around in and out of stuff very confidently, very easily.
Wait, you gotta follow the rules of traffic, woman. You can't be doing that shit. It freaks people out. They don't know whether you're a motor vehicle or not, you know? You can't do that stuff. You gotta pretend it's like a moped or something.
Yeah, this looks familiar.
So give me your review. You do the review. Yeah.
It's nimble, it's fast. It weaves in and out. It stops a little jerky, so you got to be careful. But you should keep your hand on the brake and don't let go at all.
You know what I notice is if the terrain gets a little rough, you definitely got to slow down.
Yeah.
If it's smooth, you can fly.
Yep.
But anytime there's no suspension, it can get a little sketchy on you if there's potholes or
I just avoid them.
Manhole covers, crap like that.
Yeah.
But
Fun.
9.93 miles.
Oh, we went just as far on the bike.
We had 4 bars on the battery when we left. We got 2. I got 2 left. You got 2 left?
No, I got 3.
You got 3?
I got 3.
I was riding a little bit faster than you, but we weren't going full speed a lot, but we were going full speed.
Yeah.
I could tell you're getting more comfortable on it. I don't like the thing though where you got to push off to get started. Like when you're trying to cross the street when the light goes green, you got to like push it to like 5 miles an hour before it seems the throttle kicks in. It doesn't kick in from a dead stop. And maybe that's to save the battery, I don't know. But that is a little bit annoying because
we'll have to figure that out.
It's like you can keep up with the traffic almost, but if you can't get that start, you're not going to keep up. And then you got people passing you. That's not a good situation. And the starting and stopping, all those stoplights we hit, that's what killed the battery. If you just probably went full speed on a long run somewhere out in the country, you'd probably get better mileage. If we're at 10 and we're at half, figure 20 for average riding.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I'm gonna do a test where I just take this out and do full speed the whole time and see if it's better than what we get just doing kind of city riding.
You gotta go somewhere where there's no stop.
like the cruise control feature, which is when you hold the throttle at a steady speed for more than 8 seconds, it automatically sets. And it's a little unnerving at first, because the first time it happens, it's almost accidental, and then you go to like let off the throttle and she just keeps on going. So it's something to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's really nice because your thumb's not going to get all cramped up, and you can, you know, move your hand position around. Same with the floorboard here, whatever you call it. It's nice and big and wide, and it allows you to, you could ride side by side, you could ride 1 foot in the back, 1 foot in the front. You can move around so that, you know, you can extend your ride because you're not getting uncomfortable because you're stuck in one position. So that's pretty cool. The lock is nice. The lock we've used, you know, it's this long. All you got to do is wrap it around something and it plugs back into here. And then there's a code that you set and to whatever you want. Now, it's not real strong. It is a cable. And I would, if you're going to lock it up to something, I would make it as tight as you can so that somebody can't get, you know, one of these numbers going. But it's nice to have that because you don't have to carry something else with you. You don't have to bring a lock. Bike locks sometimes are pretty heavy. So it's nice that that's included. That was like a great feature for what we're doing for it, which is like going around a city, maybe stopping and going in a shop or something. You just, you know, not really a high crime area, but you don't want to just leave the thing sitting out there.
No, it goes back. It goes in the hole. No, no, no.
Where?
Right here. There's a hole in that black thing.
Oh.
It's got to go in there. Now mess up the combination. Yeah, that's it.
So the acceleration is another issue where I have a little bit of a complaint. When you take off and you want to go from like a stop sign, you have to push first and get it rolling before the motors will go. It won't just start going from a dead stop. And maybe that's intentional. It probably is. Maybe it's to save the battery. Maybe it's to make it a little safer. You can't just, it won't just run away from you. You have to kind of almost really be on it for it to start going. I guess getting used to it, it'll be okay, but you do got to put a little effort in, and sometimes when you think it's going fast enough and you want to get it and it's still not there, and you got to kind of like flip the throttle a couple times to get it to go. The weight's great. It's not heavy at all. I think, if I remember right, and I could be wrong, they said around like 36 pounds. But to fold it down, it's so simple. You just pull that up. That's it. You know what I mean? Take the thing with you. So, like, staying in a hotel room. Beautiful. You can carry it, put it in the elevator. You don't even have to fold it up. We were pushing them in the elevator, pushing them down the hallway, putting them in our room. You don't take. These are perfect to bring on a trip and put in a hotel room. They don't take up that much space. I will say one thing I just noticed though, is this plug has a funny shape to it. It has like ears on the side. So you have to kind of rotate it to get it to line up. You can't just jam it in there because it might break something. That's something they don't mention in the book. Take a lot of space up in the hotel room, so if you were going to travel with one of these, it's perfect. You know, it's a beautiful way to go somewhere and just explore an area where you wouldn't be able to reach all the places on a bicycle or walking. It greatly extends your ability to explore a space, so I like that. Both scooters were exactly the same speed. They both do 20. They both hold 20, even against the wind, even up most hills, it'll hold 20. The worst I've seen it drop is it went to 19 going up a really steep ridge against the wind. It did drop down to 19, and I'm 160, 165. So they're strong, you know. And like I said, 20 miles an hour is like the perfect speed to cruise around because you're not going so fast that, you know, you're in danger. I would definitely wear a bicycle helmet. Show you the way that the dash works too is nice because
you know, you have a code that when you turn this on, you got your power button here, you'll see it flash, and then you use the up and down buttons to do your code, and when you get your number in, you just hit the bottom button again and moves to the next one. It comes factory set 000. So once you get the 3 zeros in there, you double click the power button, and now it's at level 1. If you want level 2, you just push the plus button and it goes to level 2. Level 1 is 15 mile an hour top speed. Level 2 is 20 mile an hour top speed. And as you can see, it's got an odometer on it too. This one's got 68 miles on it. It's nice that, like, say you were going to go for a day and you wanted to maximize your range, you just leave it in level 1. You're never going to go over 15. 15's still pretty fast, and I imagine, you know, you might add 5 miles to your range by doing that, you know, by not cruising around at 20. They give you goofy little bell. The brake is nothing fancy. It's a mechanical. It's not hydraulic. It works well enough. You can lock it up. You have to play with the adjustments a little bit though, because the way that they came set, one of our scooters was really touchy, and this one was not. So there's a little bit of adjustment you can do with where the cable grabs to get it, you know, customized to how you like it. The light in the back blinks when you're on the brakes. That's handy. If you want the headlight to work, all you have to do is hold down the plus button for a couple seconds. You'll get a little indicator on the dash, and then you get the light, and the light's pretty bright. I mean, it's enough. You know, definitely could use more riding at night, especially going 20 miles an hour, but it's enough. So all in all, I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad my wife talked me into it. These are going to be so much fun, like in a beach town in the summer. A lot of the beach towns in the area I'm at, they let you ride these on the street and everything. You just have to remember that, you know, it kind of confuses people because they're new. So you might get, you know, people are unsure how fast they go, and then when they see you going down the road, they kind of adjust and figure out what it is. But you have to follow the rules of the road, because if you start doing weird stuff, you could really get in trouble on these things. Like, stay off the sidewalks, just ride them like a moped, and everything's usually pretty cool. People understand, you know, that you're motorized. Things are fun. The more people you have together in a group, the more fun it is. If you had like 4 people on one of these things, you'd have a blast. It would be so much fun. So if you're thinking about it, this is a good one. It's the GoTrax GMAX Ultra.